Hi guys, it's Nancy here and I'm back with another process video for you, and this one, at the start I'd kind of started this page when I was doing some bed scrapping the other day, so I wasn't filming it, but then didn't get any further and kind of just left it out for me to finish. I decided I wanted to add some, ink and mist on the background, and I wasn't really set up to do that, so I just put it back in my stash and thought, oh, I'll carry on next time I want to scrap. So you only really missed me cutting the photos down. So I've taken this piece of paper from Lucky Homes, I think, and I'm just adding some mist on the background, and this is a grey and the coral colour, and then I'm adding some teal as well. I tend to use the same few mists because they're sitting in front of me on my desk. So this is the photos that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to be mounting them again just on some of the scrap paper that was on my desk. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I kind of had a load of scraps that I wanted to use up. So that is my plan. I did say I was going to chuck them out after that one layout, but there were some few bits I thought I could still use, so that is what I'm doing. That is why there's lots of sort of odds and sods that are going down here, but I kind of quite like doing this, building layouts up this way. So I really want to use that chipboard frame, and that's, using that chipboard pack that I really want to get used up. I'm just kind of fiddling around, seeing what I've got here, seeing what I can use, what I can do with it. There wasn't too much left, but obviously I've got another piece of acetate here. There was some 8x8, which were highly swap older papers, which is what that craft stripe is. So I think I kind of vaguely know what I want to do, so I'm just going to stick it down. I said I did struggle a little bit doing the last layout, but this one happened a bit quicker because I knew kind of my scraps. And I think I do one more layout using some of these scraps, but that is kind of going to be it. They have just gone in the bin then. So these are two photos from the day out in Cambridge. So there's another picture of King's College, and then also of the, I can't think what it's called. What is the river called in Cambridge? I don't know. It's gone with the punts on. That's at the back of the universities. So I live about an hour away from Cambridge, and it's somewhere, to be honest, we haven't been that much. I've been more times than my parents, so I decided to, we'd go over there for the day. And we just kind of wandered around the shops, had, a cup of tea, and just kind of chilled out, really. And it was a really nice day as well. It was lovely and sunny with the blue skies. So I just want to document that. I did talk about it in my project life as well. Not really sure what I was doing. Oh, I was looking for some stickers. Yes, and this is what I decided. There was this sticker with a bicycle on. And Cambridge is famous for bicycles because it's a university town. There's literally just bikes everywhere. They rule the roads. So I thought, hang on, this is going to be a really good way to use up some bike embellishments and different bike bits and pieces that I have, because I do have quite a lot in my stash, and I do have a beautiful bike, but it's in my caravan and I haven't used it lately. So, and I still haven't taken that picture of me on the bike with a breadstick, with a baguette. I still need to do that because I still have that paper from Kelly Perky. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know what I mean about that. But yes, so I decided I'm going to use up some of these bike motifs. I also pulled out this, which... oh, excuse me guys, it's yawning. It's the middle of the afternoon as well, that's not good. These are from Jen Hadfield, and I had a few bits of those offcuts left. So I'm just going to stick those down just to bring some pink in. I did use a little bit of the pink acetate there at the top and the bottom. It is kind of quite subtle on the video, but you can see it in person. So I'm now just using this cut apart piece from the Wonder collection, and I really love the cut apart, scaled down cut apart pieces. And so I'm just building my clusters there, and I've got a little bit of place to do some journaling on there, but also I could journal on that camera paper as well. Again, I'm just taking another bit which says remember this at the top. And I really want to bring that pop of pink in because the sun's shining on those pumps, even though that's kind of like a brownie colour, I just needed a bit of a warmer tone in this layout. So just sticking these different bits and pieces down. And I love these flowers, I use them on several layouts. That tag also has pink and green in, so that's going to be help sort of tie everything together as well. And you know, florals are always a good thing to add to just generic kind of like landscapey pictures, I find. Just seeing if I could fit another bit of this acetate in. It doesn't get on this one, but I do like actually using it. And I said I've got several sheets of acetate, so I think I'm going to have to find a project to do with that. So I've pulled out a Maggie Holmes sticker sheet, which has the word beautiful on. I'm going to use that as part of my title. I'm just sticking it on my hands there to take some of the stickiness off, and the background has sort of a dark grey black polka dot on, so that's actually going to tie in really well with that title. As I said, I love how that looks. And then taking these out of my stash, again these have been sitting on my desk for a while, so I've been using them more, and I'm just going to put Cambridge down. As I said, when I was planning my 2015 wrap-ups, you know, trying to see what layouts I needed to finish this, I decided I needed 2 layouts, so this is it. So one of them is going to have a bit of journaling about my parents on, and this one will just have a little bit about why we decided to go out that day. I am cutting these tile stickers down because I want to make sure that they fit between those kind of like 2 ascending parts of that beautiful. And I do end up fitting it down. And again, it looks kind of okay, even though you cut it down. You know, you can't really tell much difference. So, and I'm just using the grid on that piece of journaling paper, just to fill that in. So I'm super happy with how that looks, and I'm just going to lift up that T just to overlap where it went a little bit on that corner. So this is where I'm going to kind of think, okay, what else can I add? What else does this need? And that's when I'm going to decide to look through my different embellishment pots and see what I can put in. So some of these are bits, I think, from the craft market, and some of them from another collection. I can't quite remember what collections they are, because these are kind of all got mixed up now, which I'm fine with, but it doesn't make it too great for doing this. So this one says Crescent Bicycles, I believe. This was part of the craft market one, and I thought, great, this is again going to be a great way just to carry that repetition of bikes in, because that's kind of what I always think about when I think of Cambridge, is think about the bikes. I decided to cut that little bottom bit off there because the price was in dollars and it kind of didn't really go with the story and how English it was. So I've just stuck these couple of bikes down, and I really like just the little detail that it adds. So I'm just looking at some other bits and pieces I've got in here that I could possibly use to layer up. That was like a little postage stamp piece with a bee on, and I kind of thought, yeah, that could possibly work. Not quite sure what I was thinking with the scissors there. So again, just looking at different bits and pieces that I can add. I was going to look at adding that gold piece, but there wasn't gold anywhere else. And then there was this bit that said bicycle. I decided to kind of take the bicycle part off of it because that just looked a bit weird. But I'm going to put this piece, which is just a little bike, down. So that's 3 bikes there at the bottom. And that's just going to kind of go around my journaling. And I like how all the bikes are facing the same way as well. That just kind of made me happy. So I'm just going to use a couple of foam dots just to put behind where that goes over the chipboard frame. And as I said, this was kind of quite an eclectic, just using up random bits and pieces from my stash, which I like. I'm really liking doing layouts like that at the moment. Instead, I'm just making a conscious effort to use this stash up. So I'm fiddling around here. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, but I was fiddling around there trying to get that piece off. Just to pop up, because where I have used those chipboard frames, of course, there's a little bit of height variance on the layout. So I think I'm just going to carry on going around the layout doing that, but I have a few more videos that to come up just to finish off this 2015 12 by 12 layouts, which will be fun. I just want to get it done because I'm now starting to think about starting my 2016 album. So yeah, I've got lots of plans and lots of projects underway, and I really need to have a kind of a bit of a sort out because I need to find places to store these albums. I have got some in the caravan, but I do want to try and move them out of there because it is kind of more of a damper environment. So one of my missions is to clear off a bookcase full of old art books, so I can use that to put my albums on. So, and also they'll all be in one place and I can look at them more, which will be good. So I'm just going to mount it up on this piece of paper which I mount my photos in, and then that is it for this layout. I really enjoyed using up some odd bits and pieces from my stash and getting these photos done. So I hope you've enjoyed this layout. I love scrapping photos, especially 2 different orientations, because it gives you a space for doing some journaling. So I really love how this came together. So thank you very much guys for watching, and I'll be back very, very soon. Bye!